Welcome to another episode of Game Informer's Test Chamber. Today we're taking a look at a new PlayStation 4 game called Infamous Second Son, the third entry in this series. I'm Andrew Reiner, and I have Joe Juba here.
Hey!
And then a special guest from Sony Computer Entertainment America. We have producer Greg Phillips.
Hello, hello.
Hello, sir. Hey. So what are we looking at here?
We are looking at a cutscene where Delsin Walker has Delsin has caught up to Fetch, a conduit who has power over Neon, can drain Neon lights and do a lot of cool things, some of which Delsin now has the ability to do, and we'll show in a second. And Delsin and Reggie are kind of debating what to do, given what they know about her. So Delsin's going to have a choice of whether he, tries to corrupt her or redeem her.
So Fetch is the woman on the ground there.
Correct.
Okay.
And the facial animation's very cool. What was Sucker Punch doing to capture these performances?
So Sucker Punch was working with a group, Digital Domain, down in Florida, and they were using kind of some new techniques in mocaps, particularly on the faces. So the actors would have worn all these cameras that helped them capture a lot of the fidelity around the eyes, lips, and nose, so they give a better emotional. Well, you get more of the emotional performance coming out in the characters.
Yeah, I think LucasArts, before they went down, was doing that with 1313. But it looks very cool.
And now we just saw sort of one of the moral choice moments here going on too. Can you explain?
Picked evil.
Yeah. You picked the corrupt one.
Yeah.
How would this have played out differently if you'd chosen the other option?
So if I'd have chosen the other option, you would have seen a different cutscene. There would be a different mission, completely different path. Really, that particular choice kind of helps shape what Fetch's role in the story is going forward.
Interesting.
Which is a little bit of a twist on things.
And Cole is not the protagonist.
Cole is not the protagonist. He unfortunately, spoiler alert, died at the end of Infamous 2. If you put it through the good way, I know it's heartbreaking.
And since
this
on
picks
that
up
boat, I think he was okay. So who's the new protagonist here?
The new protagonist is Delsin Rowe. Delsin Rowe is a 24-year-old Native American kid who recently discovered he has powers in a world where people fear those that have powers.
And he collects buttons.
Yes, he has a very button-filled jacket. His power in particular allows him to drain powers from other conduits and use them. At this point in the game, he just recently acquired Fetch's Neon powers.
He'd be a good X-Men.
So now,
could be, yes.
Does he have these powers permanently, or is it sort of like a temporary drain thing?
He'll have them permanently, but he has to drain from a power source to kind of recharge them and use them.
Okay.
So at this point, I have two powers, which I'll show off here, Smoke and Neon. And the smoke power, if I wanted to get it back, I would have to go drain off a smoke stack.
Okay.
So in this particular mission, whoops.
So you're using Neon right now?
Yeah.
And that's the little graffiti down there at the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Looks like the Duke troops becoming honorary members.
So you're using dark powers. You just totally annihilated that guy.
Yeah. So with Neon, I could have the choice of either.
So you're doing headshots there, but I could see there's good on the legs.
Yeah.
So if you shoot him on the legs, will it just trap him then?
It'll subdue them, and if I shoot them in the head, it explodes.
Sly Cooper.
Yes, there's many Sly references in here. Sucker Punch does love themselves some Sly.
It's bound to be at one of these little get-togethers. Let's just keep crashing until we find the right one.
Oh, you're just wrecking the city.
Yeah. So can you explain a little bit what the difference is between, like what are you able to do with Neon powers that you can't do with Smoke? Is it just sort of a skin on the same kinds of powers, or is it a little more different?
There's a lot more different. So each of the power sets kind of has, one, a super navigation ability. In the case of Neon, it lets me run really fast and up walls and kind of traverse the city. And I'll switch to Smoke in a second and kind of show off some of the benefits of Smoke. Smoke's really good up close and personal, does some things differently. Yeah, really the up close and personal is probably the big one.
I see he's still got that cool hover ability there.
Yep.
Well, he has an ability similar to Cole's hover ability.
Let Cole go, Joe. He's gone. He didn't survive on the boat like I thought he did. Okay, so there's Smoke. Oh. It was the lady from How I Met Your Mother with the yellow umbrella. You just took her out.
I'm ruthless.
Not good to keep things bottled up.
So one thing you probably noticed while I was going through before is up in the corner, I have it's telling me to press down on the D-pad, and it looks like I have a power charged up or have something charged up. So as I was going through, one of the incentives when I'm playing kind of evil ruthless is to do as much damage as fast as possible.
Here's a little trick I like.
So I did enough damage in kind of a fast enough period of time to build something up, which I'll use now. You may have seen this before. It's called the Orbital Drop.
Whoa.
I think Cloud summoned this in Final Fantasy VII.
Wow.
It's fun at parties.
Still no sign of those.
So as I'm going, if I do enough damage fast enough without slowing down, I will kind of charge up one of those abilities for use wherever I want in the city. And each of the power sets has one. That was the one for Smoke. But the flip side there is if I slow down or if I don't do an evil action in a certain period of time, the meter completely times out. So it's like you have to move really fast and ruthlessly if you want to be able to charge up these karma bombs.
Gotcha. So it's good for big encounters. Then.
Yeah, and then if I were playing on the heroic side of things, what would end up happening is time wouldn't be the pressure, but I would have to play mistake free. So if I were to make one mistake, accidentally knock down one ped, or take out one guy who surrendered, I would lose my entire meter.
Take out the DirecTV.
Okay.
Is that like a bonus thing?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay, I'll follow your lead.
All right, so we're on our way to some destination here.
Yeah, so in this mission, there's a bunch of protesters that are kind of painting Fetch as the kind of reason for the world's ills with conduits. So Fetch is taking that kind of personally and using that as an excuse to go after these guys.
And that's a dark mission then?
Yeah.
Okay. Or evil, or what do you call the two sides in Infamous Second Son?
They can be called heroic and ruthless, good and evil. Both kind of fit the bill. So there's one. The DUP here have one guy who has powers of their own.
Oh! And he's using his chain there, right? Like he has chains wrapped around his hand or his wrist.
Yeah. So the chain takes on different properties depending on the power. In the case of
Kind of Ghost Rider-esque.
No, we want to like this guy.
Kratos?
Okay, there you go.
Okay, there you go.
So yeah, and going through
Alright.
that, I ended up charging up another karma bomb
Okay.
by taking those guys out and with some ruthless precision.
Oh, so now we get to see the neon karma bomb?
You will kind of get to see it. So we're trying to keep a lot of things secret for fans this time around. We haven't been showing as much. I think on Infamous 2 we showed off a lot of the game before release, so this time we're being a little more selective.
Okay.
So I will use it, but it's going to have a filter over it so we don't give away all the effects. Call it a spoiler filter.
Okay. No, that makes
Wait,
sense.
they built in a spoiler filter into the game?
Only for this preview build.
Ah, sucker punch. You bastards.
That was awesome.
And that is Troy Baker, right?
That is Troy Baker.
Does he turn into the Joker at one point?
He does not. I missed.
Man,
Got
he
him.
can really get around the city, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like the look of the mobility here, but it still has that kind of Infamous vibe too, of the like fighting dudes on rooftops and jumping from place to place and taking care of business. I like that.
Kind of makes
Ah,
Cole
so you
look
know-
like a chump.
So you
Gotta
see,
say, Joe.
if enemies think they're completely done for, they will surrender. You get the choice whether to execute or submit.
Joe, what should he do?
Execute them.
Of course.
Yeah,
Right through the heart.
immediately.
Take
Where
that
did you
dumpster.
go? Oh, you think you can get away, do you?
I do like that mobility angle there too, because like Cole would do just kind of like he just sort of hop up buildings a little bit, and yeah, that was good for the time, good for him. But like I like making it a little more super heroic in terms of traversal.
Yeah. No, it's a blast to play. I mean, having been working on this game now for 2 years, and the first time the smoke dash went in, it was great fun. It was just like dashing around. It's like,
All right, stay put. I'll meet you there.
and like as I'm going to go into this last part, I'll kind of be playing a lot more up close and personal. So I'm going to switch to the smoke powers, and there's a lot of really cool things you can do with those that I haven't quite shown much of up to this point.
And this is the first real world location. This is Seattle, and as you can see, it's rainy. True to form.
Since these people are getting in my way, well,
Excuse me.
they all get to
man on a
die.
mission here.
I never said I was a good guy.
Can you show us like the skill tree or anything like that? Or
Not
is that going to just bring up a weird blur effect or something?
No,
Spoiler
not
filter.
Not in this build. That's something we're kind of saving for release.
Just kills our PlayStation 4.
Well,
might, actually.
at least we don't have to wait long to find out because release is not far off for this.
Yep,
Coming
21st
Yeah,
of this
okay.
month.
Hang in there, Fetch. I'm coming.
Where did you go?
Just a killer.
Yeah, I know. Stone cold. Whoops. burn their eyeballs out.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Yikes.
You guys are everywhere.
And who
So-
are these guys we're taking on?
These are the DUP. These are kind of the world's superhero kind of task force.
Okay.
So when people with conduits at the end of Infamous 2, obviously the Beast took out the East Coast and everything happened with Cole, the world got very scared. It'd be kind of like if Joe here, all of a sudden his hands started glowing and he could punch me through a wall. I probably wouldn't want to stand so close to him.
That'd be a good idea.
If Joe did get superpowers, he would go down the evil path. He does it in
Probably.
every game.
Yeah, immediately.
Probably. So basically the world got very afraid of these people, and that led the government to creating this force, the DUP, which kind of main task in life was to find all conduits and lock them in jail and throw away the key.
So we got about a minute left here. Should we use our superpower?
Actually, in here, so the orbital drop, because it needs some time to wind up, it needs to have wide space to get up. I can't use that. These guys are almost dead, so
Okay.
Oh. Very cool moves. I like how he could shoot behind him, stuff like that.
oh, he surrendered.
And in previous Infamous games, like Cole needed to drain electricity and stuff from around. Is there you do that with like neon and smoke still in the environment also?
Correct. So any smoke source or neon source, as you saw, like these lights in the corner, could be
Right,
used to
right.
get neon.
Hey, I see
If I blow up a
my
car, I
phone.
could use that to get smoke.
Okay.
So I can get power from anything in the real world that would generate those sources.
So walk out real slow and act scared.
Yeah, this should be pretty easy for me to do.
Thing is, they think they got you trapped, but ha!
Ha! And they're mistaken because...
Because we're Smoke Guy and Laser Girl.
Yeah. Joke's on them.
Nice.
Do it!
No, he's going to
Okay.
surrender. Of course he's going to surrender. He knows he's done wrong.
And credits.
Okay, maybe
The
not.
the end. Thank you for playing Infamous
Boy,
Second
have
Son.
you guys
Enjoy
got
the prison
drop
food.
on me.
Look at that lighting.
Or, you know,
Yeah! No, don't cover it up.
or cause loss and destruction real quick.
Spoiler filters.
I know.
He turned into a neon beer sign. The end.
But it does do quite a bit of damage and fun at parties.
Oh, I can't wait to see what that effect is. Thank you so much for showing us this, and
Yep.
thank you, Joe. We'll see you next time on Test Chamber.